Percy waited for Thomas to come back with a sports car. They both knew that the long journey had made them late. Then Thomas had an idea. "Why don't we cover that steep hill on the other side of the tunnel?" Thomas told Percy. "It's the fastest track back to Sodor, and," he added, "if we're lucky, the other entrants might see our special." And they set off. Thomas and Percy chuffed and puffed up the steep hill. Tom and Packer passed him coming down. They both thought the special was magnificent, but the car was very heavy. Thomas and Percy huffed and chuffed up the hill, and soon they reached the top. But the coupling got weaker and weaker as they started to puff carefully down the hill. Then there was trouble. With a final jolt, the coupling broke. The magnificent sports car rolled away from Thomas and rolled down the other side of the hill through the next station. "Fizzling fireboxes!" cried the two engines. Gorton was further down the hill, with the express heading back to Sodor. He didn't know about the sports car heading towards him. It buffered up to Gorton's coaches. Now Thomas's magnificent sports car was on its way to the docks, and Gorton was on its way there now. The two tank engines had to get to Brandon docks before Gorton, and they chuffed after him. Up ahead, Sheriff was snoozing by the Sodor Cafe when Gorton puffed past with a car behind him. Sheriff was surprised to see Gorton pulling the car behind the express. "That's not like Gorton to be pulling the truck behind the express," he thought. Then Thomas and Percy came rushing into the cafe. "Sheriff, we need your help. Stop that car. Gorton's taking it to the docks, and it's our special." "Right, I'm on it," called Sheriff, and he raced away. As Gorton puffed along with the express, Thomas and Percy panted, and they puffed and chuffed along every track they knew. No one saw Thomas pass, no one stopped to rave, and no one played musical instruments or Polish music. But it didn't matter to Thomas anymore. He knew that they had to save a magnificent sports car from Gorton. "It's nearly time for the party, Thomas. We'll never get back in time." "Don't worry, Percy, we're catching up." And he was right. They were heading towards Gorton's hill, and Gorton began to climb. But because of the heavy car behind him, the express was more heavy than usual. Gorton struggled on and on and on until he had to wait for Edward to help. "Bother!" huffed Gorton. But the coupling came minutes behind the carriage, and then the front truck coupling snapped, and the car raced away faster and faster down the hill. It bashed into Thomas, and the car bashed off the track and into the river. It was very deep too. Thomas felt bad. He knew it was his fault. Suddenly he had an idea. "Percy, have you still got my order too?" "Yes, Thomas, but why?" "Because I've got an idea. If you run round the front, in front of the car, you'll be able to use the lasso so you can pull it back onto the track. Then you can be a front engine." "Good idea." Soon Percy was hooked up to the car. Then Percy huffed and puffed. The car was very heavy. There was a lot of mud under its wheels. Percy didn't give up. "I can do it!" he wished. And with a mighty heave, Percy pulled the car back onto the tracks, despite the shake. Hooray! Tooted Thomas. We got it out after all. Gordon was surprised. Percy the small engine had proved that he is strong in front of the fastest engine on Sodor. The magnificent sports car was once again tied down to Thomas's truck, and they set off as soon as the couplings were fixed, and their wheels clickety-clapped without a cheer or a clap or a musical tune along the way. Thomas and Percy arrived at a birthday party just in time. Just as Brian arrived with Bridget and Stephen. They get to ride on Sodor's newest engine as a special treat. They were delighted when they saw the sports car. Soon, Bridget, Stephen and the Fat Controller were racing around the green. Thomas and Percy watched. Everyone had fun. And when it was time to go home, Bridget and Stephen told Thomas that their car had been fantastic. I thought it was grand, peeped Percy. But I thought it was magnificent, puffed Thomas. And then he spoke to Percy. I'm sorry I didn't listen to you, Percy, and you're my best friend. From now on, I will always listen to you and accept your help. And they tooted their best friend's whistle for everyone to hear. Well, I hope you learned your lesson, Thomas. Yes, I have. And I didn't need anyone to tell me that this had been a very special